Let's go see if this game's any good. Should be interesting at the very least, even if it's dumb. I hope. That's the dream at least. Please make sure audio is on. Is audio on? Can't tell.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
You're welcome.
My name is
game.
Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
It's a long time ago, dog.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Yo,
It's
is
a
this
level for
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike.
Oh,
You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda
It's
learning
Dust-
the basics of
Dust
building
3,
a 3D
dude.
environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us
you
to
can't
see past
crouch
the
jump.
games
This is
themselves.
not Counter-Strike.
I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So,
We're going on a
it's 2008.
journey.
Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder.
Yo, that's pretty
So,
me
you
IRL.
know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation
Can't
that I
bunny
haven't
hop.
mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com.
Wow,
Okay,
you
that's
spelled
about it
out
for
his whole
introduction.
name.
Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
That's older than me. I'm just kidding. Don't ban me, Twitch. Oh, I get a gun. I get a super quiet gun.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
It's the most quiet gun ever. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Shit.
Security call breached.
I hope I don't die.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies
Oh, that's
somewhere.
good.
But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
That's a relief.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know.
You can
Maybe
crouch.
Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh, shit. Nice skybox, Coda. Oh, good. A labyrinth.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Thanks, dog. I appreciate it.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Ooh,
Hey,
fancy.
you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives.
Is this the trolley problem?
Could you give yourself?
No. I don't wanna. I'll do it anyways. Rip.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Up. Wee. Ooh. It's pretty. I can see my house
The
from
beam
here.
causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one
Goodbye,
behind.
Whisper Machine. I guess I'll miss you. This looks like a spookier game.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Nice. Wee. Aw.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Fancy, dude.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to
Wow.
me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Thanks for walking backwards with me. Ooh, a dark game. You are now into... Is this Silent Hills?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet.
Okay.
Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what
I
makes
can't
it
believe
interesting.
walking forward 10 seconds was $60 on Steam.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Ooh. Untextured skyscrapers.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I'm slowing down. Is this the endless staircase?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Wee hacker, dude. I'm elite hacker. You are a gate. Stand on an X staring at a bear for 3 hours. Are these Steam reviews?
A room that's warm and nice and
Oh.
filled with little ideas for games.
Sharks are trying to eat you. Simultaneously, you are trying to eat the sharks.
Coda
That
would
sounds
often
great.
tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He
Look
said
at that
he
one.
knew that he was
Sell your
actually a
organs to make the
vibrant and
most money
compassionate
before you
person,
die.
but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
A normal game where you have to scream into a mic every 15 seconds. Yo, that is the optimal reaction Andy game. Ship it. Pull the
Well,
lever.
this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Look at the fog machine, dog.
Don't forget that solution,
Easy.
because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're going to see it a lot. So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa. It's a Windows 98 screensaver, yo. Didn't remove all the walls.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
I can't
I actually
jump off.
find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
To shitpost. Yeah, we're back to Silent Hill. Let's go. You are now exiting. Oh, okay.
Aha.
Bye,
So,
Silent Hill.
This, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow.
Dakota Cinematic
It could
Universe.
even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Give me the twist. The Great and Lovely Descent. Oh, that's a cute little house.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's
this a
games
surf
are
map?
set in
Oh
these
God.
large, flat, empty rooms.
Rip.
It's just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Easy. It's a surfing map for
The tools available
Counter-Strike.
to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
It's true, Source is good at that shit. Don't make an open world game in Source.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
No, I'll just stand here for an hour, dude. It's content, right? It's free real estate.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
Game of the
I
year.
played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Yo, it's the door again.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay, bud. Hello, friends. You there, did you come from up above? What was
Here,
up there?
Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Enormous prison I spent hours in. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We just need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. Okay, bye, Cube Headman. Oh, they're back. Was there a puzzle you had to get pass through? No, I've been right here this entire time. Silly. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. Why would I sit in the black space? Oh, it's plenty peaceful. It may not seem that way at first, but you'll come to think so in time, eventually. Will I? Is that true? Is it comfy in there?
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
We're outside.
It's a lamppost. Okay,
I'm a
I can't tell you
lamppost.
quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. Right, it's the Narnia lamppost, man. We always gotta find our way back. April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. Uh-oh. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Oh no, how long until there's an ASCII penis? Nice room, not. Sick burn, dude.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce
How do you
this,
beat
but
this
game is
game?
not connected to the internet.
Oh,
All of the
feels
notes that you're
bad,
going to
man.
see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him.
There's a lot of
at
them.
a
Holy
weekend
shit.
game jam in Sacramento, where I
Whoa,
grew up.
holy shit.
I saw him working on this
Hey,
very
that's
level,
almost what I just
and it was
said.
just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right
Can
away
you
I
guys
was like,
hear me?
I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a
Hello?
bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over
Reasonable.
enthusiastic. But he was very gracious
Everyone
about
read
it and
this.
very patient with me.
Hey.
And I cooled off eventually.
This place
Oh,
makes
feel
me
free
sad.
to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing
I
extra.
want to tell you a secret. Once upon a time, I
Either
did.
way, to me they convey a sense of
Define
loneliness.
fun.
I
That's
see
not
this
possible,
person
dude.
who's filled with thoughts.
I'm king of the
and
world.
Feelings and beliefs, and has no way to express them
Balls.
except as scattered and unheard voices.
too,
in a game that
thanks.
wasn't meant to be played.
How is there wood and grass and concrete here? What the fuck?
But it's ironic, isn't it?
Burf.
That in playing this
No.
game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we
What
get to
the
know him
shit
better
is this
and actually
cavern?
kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really
Boring.
seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game.
I can
and
assure
see
you
the voices in their
guaranteed
head
that there
and
is an
get to know
acorn
them
somewhere
better
here
and
in
have
this
to do
place
less
and the
of
sailors are looking for
messy
it.
in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
Hi guys, just looking for
I think
someone
this
to
is
talk
why I always
with.
liked Coda's
Pepe
games
hands.
so much. Is because it felt like they let me have
I
that
refuse to
connection.
believe.
I felt as though he was inviting
Butt
me
ass
personally
butt.
into his world.
I left
And now I
that
feel
one.
this
Smile.
lonely too.
I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. Recognize me, please. Notice me, senpai. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. A free t-shirt. Need other side. Door. Why you so? Makes game. Includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door how open. Someday I will meet the person who made this. Will you? I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? There's a lot of these, dog. Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. It's not very crowded here. Don't bother. This is where I get off. Gotchi base. I failed to write anything here. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Well, I like being miserable. I'm good at it. What is that painting? It does not matter if you ever get over there. I think I'm this is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. Dude, this is a feels bad man. This is a note question mark? Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Oh no. Call help. Stop faking it. Painting, what does it mean? Whoever made this has issues. Who are all of you? We will all die someday. True. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Stop pretending you are other people. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Oof. Devil Tower star. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Feels bad. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. Dude, this is all untextured now. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game! More room?
At the end of this
Scared of
level, we're
writing
going to
something?
see the
Don't want to
puzzle
feel
again.
judged.
And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that
I
he was
can't jump
making it.
off.
And the puzzle is a way
Almost
of
there.
closing the door on a
I've
previous
seen
chapter
everything.
of
I've
his
traveled
life
the world. I
before
never have
moving on
told
to the next
anyone.
one.
Become one with the spiraling nonsense. You can't even jump off. Downward, keep digging.
In each of his games, After exploring a theme that, he might find
You
difficult,
close your eyes and wish
Coda
for it
can
really
then place
bad.
this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution.
Almost at the end.
He understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Does this puzzle have a solution? OMG, I've been here for literally an hour. WTF do I do? Help! Help! This doesn't make sense. Shit, how do you solve it? Look at these scrubs.
And because there's this dark area between the doors,
I'm heading back to the
space
start
between
later,
spaces,
guys.
Before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment. A few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step
Later,
back and
losers.
connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
How do you leave notes? Yo, Typewriter City. I can save. Oh wait, this isn't Resident Evil anymore. I can't save. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Speak, 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 speak. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough.
Feels bad.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
What do we got? There's a door. Let's go. Dude, I like the music. Good bass line.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's
Why do you go up the
particularly
ladder?
interesting about it. You
Oh,
just
it's not a
walk to
ladder.
the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. Oh, this is big minimalistic. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Put a giant hole in the ground. That's not a hole in the ground. Now what about along the wall of the room? 10 stoves lined up along the wall. Those aren't stoves. I think we should light up this room a bit. Ooh, 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights. This sounds like techno babble. That's a lamp though. And a table. You need a table. Tables are invented in 1935. That's a table, I guess. Ooh. Hell yeah. We're going to IKEA, brother.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
IKEA.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay. Yes, sir. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Goodbye. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it. Finally touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. One prison, please. Okay.
And of course, now the table is gone and
Oh
you
my
can't begin the
God.
chain of events to escape.
Baited.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of
Alright.
these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that.
Skyboxes are funny, dude.
Stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
How does one prison with no prison? No. No spooky noises in this game. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? Ellipses. So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the reverse prison.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able
That's
to
where I
talk
am
to
right
someone,
now.
to
Oh, I'm
share
so
what's on
glad
his
to know
mind,
that I get
and
out
to get some
eventually.
good advice from someone
What's it
who
like to
knows.
escape?
But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Me too, thanks. It feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. I don't even know what that means. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and things will be exactly the same as before. No, I'm the same person now as I was back then. Oh no, that's awful. That's the worst thing I can imagine. Well, you get something else in exchange. Beep. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to get a call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? You need to tell me how you feel right now. What? That will free me? How does that work? It will make sense. It won't. Spoilers. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.